Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Open Mic Podcast. Open Mic Podcast, unofficially sponsored by Liquid Death. Murder your thirst, don't just quench your thirst. And everybody knows I love Liquid Death. Uh, I think their sparkling water is great. It's a good alternative to soda. Um, the teas are outstanding, and they don't have a lot of caffeine. All their drinks, they use agave, they use stevia to sweeten them, and they just came out with a new flavor. Um, have not tried this yet, so I figured we'd try it on the Open Mic Podcast this week. Shout out to Liquid Death, uh, Fruity Pebbles. Y'all see that? It's called Serial Criminal. I would have probably called it Serial Killer, but then maybe they had a reason why. But yeah, this is brand new. Have not read much on this flavor. I know you couldn't find it in the store. They actually partnered with Post Cereal, so it says Fruity Pebbles on there. And supposedly this is supposed to taste like uh, kind of like the flavored milk when you eat your cereal and then you drink the milk and you get that flavor. I know having someone who's drank a lot of like protein, different types of protein flavors over the years. They so many companies try to recreate that, especially peanut butter, right? Like Captain Crunch, peanut butter milk flavor after you eat your cereal. A lot of companies, a lot of protein companies try to recreate those flavors. Um, I don't know. They're not bad, the ones I've tried, but they're usually like kind of thick. I don't know, just not my thing. But anyway, I love Liquid Death, and yeah, shout out Liquid Death. I think we'll give. Let's start the show off with a taste test. First time trying this Liquid Death Fruity Pebbles Cereal Criminal. Let's see. I was kind of wondering the cereal flavored milk. What's it going to taste like? Um, as sparkling water, right? And it's interesting to say the least. How they get it to taste that close to Fruity Pebbles cereal is crazy to me. Um, it's not bad though. I'm not gonna lie. What's in there? What's the ingredients here? I'm trying to see what gives it that flavor. Citric acid, natural flavors. Of course, they're not gonna give away their recipe. Um, Liquid Death Serial Criminal. It's crazy how much this tastes like Fruity Pebbles. It's been a while since I ate a bowl of Fruity Pebbles, but I'd say let me get one more. I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. Like it's cool that they recreated something like this, and I have no idea how. Uh, but this is something I drink on a regular. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, and this isn't my least. Like they got some other flavors I've drank that I'm not a big fan of, but I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give this a I don't know, man, like a 6.6. I mean, it's not like if somebody said, "Hey," if you went to somebody's house and they're like, hey man, can I offer you something to drink? And you're like, yeah, what you got? And they say, well, I got water, I got whatever, I got this liquid death. I would probably take the water, honestly. It wasn't bad when I first started drinking it, but now I notice like every drink after is getting worse. So I'm gonna finish it because I paid for it. But what's going on here? Liquid Death Murder Your Thirst. Serial Criminal. Fruity Pebbles. I don't know, man. I'm not big on this. Like I said, every taste, it's like you take a drink and then you take another drink and then you take another drink, and it's like it gets worse as you go. Their Dr. Death, which is like Dr. Pepper, is one of the closest tasting drinks they have that tastes like the real thing. Of course, they're not as sweet, but um, that's the whole purpose. A lot of people just don't like sparkling water, and I was never a big fan of sparkling water either. But I was trying to find an alternative to drinking soda, and I drink plain water all the time, and I was trying to find just something to change that up. And I've tried a lot of different things over the years, but um, yeah, I was just trying to find something different. Liquid Death Murder Your Thirst, Fruity Pebbles, Serial Criminal. I bought this from Amazon. I didn't find it in any stores around here, so I ordered it from Amazon. I got it, and they only sold it by the case. So your boy's got 11 more of these left, and I don't see myself drinking 11 of these. So if anybody like try it, hit me up. We'll see if we can make it happen. I wanted to start this show, man. It's been a rough week because we lost, Ozzy Osbourne, and then Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away, and Ozzy passed away, and I did a little tribute on my last podcast to them, and they say everything like death, it comes in threes, right? Um, so this week, Terry Bollea, who many know as Hulk Hogan, passed away at the age of 71. And there's been some controversy around it, I've noticed this week. And I'll get to that in a second. Why? Uh, Terry Bollea, I think is how you pronounce his name. I think I know that. But his character, Hulk Hogan, when I was a kid in the early 80s, my mom used to watch wrestling. And I got into wrestling. Wrestling Entertainment, WWF, which is now WWE. I got into wrestling, and Hulk Hogan was the first real like superhero, super star. Um, he was a megastar in the 80s. I mean, he made wrestling entertainment global. Like wrestling existed everywhere, but he put the WWF back like on a larger plane than probably anybody ever could, and I think he did more for wrestling entertainment than anyone has ever in the history of wrestling. Um, and his character, Hulk Hogan. I mean, just everything he kind of stood for, right? Like that character was like when he won his first title for WWF, he was wrestling Iron Sheik, who was supposed to be, Iron Sheik, right? So back in them days, it was kind of like wrestling did a lot of uh questionable things over the years when when it comes to like the Iron Sheik was supposed to be from uh Iran, I think. And so they pit that whole, U.S. against Iran, and they kind of roll. And they've done that quite a few times over the years. And but back then, probably wasn't a big deal. But today, I think things like that would not fly. But anyway, um, I mean, the theme music, I'm a real American. I mean, when his song would hit, right, like it just would give me goosebumps. And as a kid, Hulk Hogan used to talk about, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, Let me tell you something, brother. The 24-inch pythons. I used to be able to do impressions more. I feel like when I was a kid, but my voice, I don't have the voice for that anymore. Mean Gene, the Hulkster. He'd be getting beat and then he would kind of hulk up. But he did a lot, and he put wrestling entertainment on the map. And my mom, we went and saw him wrestle. I don't know how many times, a bunch of times, and then I've saw him as an adult as well. And man, his music, like his music, man, it would just get you hyped. I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, when that music hit, now I kind of get goosebumps now. I mean, that's a great song too. I mean, a lot of people probably won't have an opinion about that too, but um, he did a lot. And then they had a reality show, him and his son and his daughter and his wife at the time, and there's just been a lot of controversy. He's made some racist remarks over the years and has said some racist things. So I've seen a lot on social media this week. People celebrating Hulk Hogan, the character, not the actual man that was Hulk Hogan, right? And everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I'm going to give mine. Um, do I think Hulk Hogan was a racist? No, I don't. I think we all make mistakes, and I think we get upset and we get in bad places in our mind and bad places in life, and we say things we don't mean. If anybody listening to this show or anybody I've ever talked to tell me they've never done that, I'll tell you you're a liar, flat out to your face, because I don't know anybody that hasn't said or done something they've regretted. And not saying everybody's made like racist remarks and slurs and said those things, but I think people are allowed to say things and not mean what they say. And I don't think that makes you a racist. Um, People are probably not going to agree with me on that, and that's fine. Like, you're entitled to have your opinion. I'm going to give mine. This is my podcast, and I'm going to give my opinion. I don't think Terry was a racist, and um, I think he just went through some bad times in his life, and not making any excuses. There's no excuse for that type of stuff, and he should be called out. And he was called out by plenty of African American wrestlers. Plenty of people have called him out over the years for things he said. Um, he's apologized. He's apologized to a lot of his peers in wrestling. Some of them have accepted that and moved on and knew the person he was. Um, I mean, when he left WWE and went to WCW and did the whole heel turn and joined NWA and did all that, that was shocking, to say the least. That was probably one of the most shocking things I've probably ever witnessed in the whole wrestling entertainment, like the story. And now you hear a lot. Like, the thing with wrestling is everybody knows it's fake. Like, it's predetermined, right? Like, yeah, they're not punching, but there's a lot of physical contact in wrestling that is not fake. Getting slammed on the ground and all the flips and the kicks things happen. People get hurt all the time. And so I don't like to say wrestling is fake. I like to say it is entertainment. It's predetermined who's going to win, who's going to lose. But then there's a lot of kayfabe involved, right? So you'll see wrestlers in an arena, hours up leading up to the match and all that, and they're kind of all hanging out. And I know my brother, and um, he used to go to wrestling way back when, before they did big arenas and all that stuff, and they do the like little gymnasiums in the schools, and a lot of small wrestling organizations still do that. But back in these days, the big name guys before WWF blew up, they still did that. So my brother's, he's seen like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, and all they've seen all of them, right? Like they'd go to a wrestling event, they'd go there and watch, and then they'd be at Pizza Hut, drinking pitchers of beer, and you see these people out together, right? And so now everybody's got a podcast, and so many wrestlers have podcasts and they have shows and they talk about it. So they talk a lot about things that go on behind the scenes where we didn't used to get that information. And a lot of people over the years, a lot of wrestlers have come out and said he was not an easy person to work with. Hey, I'm sure his ego, people that get to his status and his level, their egos are huge, right? Their egos are blown way out. And a lot of athletes are like that. Um, and so a lot of wrestlers talk, he wasn't the greatest guy to work with. He didn't like putting other people over. Like a lot of wrestlers, when you got young up and coming guys and they're really good, and you got older guys, they'll put them over. So they'll have a match and they'll lose to the younger talent, and that's kind of like helping them take the next step, right? Hogan did not like doing that. He did not like losing to people. He did ultimately do that for The Rock uh, at WrestleMania one year. But I've heard Undertaker tell stories, and Hogan just, I don't think he was. I think he was respected. I think he was respected a lot on what he did for the business. But I think a lot of wrestlers didn't like working with him. They may have respected him as a person, but they didn't like working with him. But at the end of the day, man, like I saw a meme on Instagram, and they were showing like Hogan through the years, right? Different character, like different outfits he wore. This and if somebody asked the question, "What was your favorite version?" and somebody said the current one, meaning he's dead, right? And people are allowed to say whatever you want, but I don't think it was a racist. First off, he has made racist remarks. But when you say things like that, like he, at the end of the day, he was somebody's father. He was a husband. He was. Does that make you any better? Like you're sitting here making comments about the man being dead, like you're celebrating him dying. Does that make you any better than the racist remarks he's made or the slurs he said over the years? I don't think so. I think that make you, if he's a piece of shit, then you're just as much of a piece of shit, in my opinion, for celebrating the death of somebody. If he'd been a pedophile or, something along those lines, yeah, okay, cool, because pedophiles and people that abuse children and, yeah, for all that. But if, I don't think that makes you any better of a person, honestly. Um, Again, this is my podcast. This is my opinion, and I'm more than happy to have a discussion if someone like to discuss this. Someone like to anybody want to reach out, open my podcast 76 at outlook.com. Reach out to me and we'll talk about it. If you like, send an email about it. I guess there was a leaked sex tape with him from like 2012. There was some controversy with that. He was sued for invasion of privacy. I think the person won like $140 million off that. And then there was recordings of him making, using racial slurs. He was removed from WWE at one point. They removed him from the Hall of Fame temporarily. He apologized for things he said. He was ultimately reinstated. But that man gave his life for wrestling, and a lot of those guys do. I mean, they pay the price when they get older. I mean, they have surgery after surgery after surgery, usually on their neck and their backs, and get to the point where they just can't walk. And I think he basically, from what I read, he died of, I guess, heart failure. Because he went in a cardiac arrest. He had a heart attack. But he has a daughter. He has a son. His son's been in and out of jail. He's had a lot of legal issues too. Um, but if we talk about Ozzy being the founding father, of metal, then Hogan is the founding father of what sports entertainment wrestling is today. Um, he is the single most influential figure in wrestling history, in my opinion. Hulk Hogan. When you think of WWE, WWF, sports entertainment, wrestling entertainment, the first person that pops in my head is Hulk Hogan. Um, and I think a lot of younger generations um, today that watch wrestling know who Hulk Hogan is. He was, and it's just, people come, people go, man. 71. I didn't think he was sick or anything, but I'd read some reports. So, uh, Hulk Hogan, man, dead at 71, and it sucks. So they come in threes. So there was the three. This week we lost Ozzy Osbourne, we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, and then we lost Hulk Hogan. Uh, they did a little on Friday Night SmackDown. They did uh, a thing for him. That ain't what I want. They did I can't think. They did like a little ceremony for him on SmackDown. Triple H got up there talking about Hulk Hogan. But yeah, we've been to so many. I went and saw him so many times, and especially as a kid. I loved going to wrestling. And like I said, me and my mom used to go. My mom always said, my mom used to always take me. The 24-inch pythons. He had done so many things. He played in I can't remember if that was a movie. He played a character named Rip. Maybe that was a TV show. Was that a TV show? They had WWF cartoon back in the day. What was this show called? Thunder in Paradise. That's what it was. Thunder in Paradise. He was Thunder. Thunder? He played Rip. There was a movie he played in with the guy that played Debo. Um, guy that played Debo. Tiny Lister. No Holds Barred. That's what that was called. Hulk Hogan was also in Rocky 3, I think. Yeah. He was in Rocky 3, where it was supposed to be like an exhibition, and Rocky was going to fight him. I mean, Hogan beat the hell out of him. That's a good Rocky 3. That's a great movie too. The heck, what's going on with that? Talk about old movies. Rocky 3. That's the best, in my opinion, out of the Rocky movies. Hulk Hogan, Tiny Lister. Yeah, he played Rip. A guy named Rip and No Holds Barred. And then Tiny Lister actually, because of that movie, got into wrestling in the WWF and was there for a little bit. Zeus. He was called Zeus. Yeah, Hulk Hogan, man. Hulk Hogan was an icon. Uh, to me, the next biggest like wrestler I could think of that did so much for wrestling is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then The Rock. Because I mean, at that point, WWF was kind of losing in the ratings. You know, a lot of those guys that left, Hogan and Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, all them guys that left went to WCW, and WWF was just kind of fumbling. And Stone Cold came along and kind of blew up the scene. He was actually at WCW at one point. Him and he was a couple different characters at WCW. Him and Flying Brian Pillman were the Hollywood Blondes. They were they tried a couple different things. Then when he got fired from WCW, he went to WWE, and he was Ted DiBiase's bodyguard. Remember, Ted DiBiase back in the day had Virgil, but he had Stone Cold, and he was called the Ringmaster. And then he went on and became Stone Cold, and then he beat Jake the Snake at King of the Ring, and gave that famous speech where he told Jake the Snake. At that point, his character become like very religious, so he's always quoting the Bible. And Stone Cold told him, "You can say your prayers and thump your Bible, and you talk about John 3:16." He said, "Well, Austin 3:16 said I just whipped your ass." And when he signed off after giving his speech after winning King of the Ring, he said, "That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so." And then the Monday night after that, so many people were in the arena that had those signs made that said Austin 3:16, and that's the bottom line. And the rest is history, as they say. That man became a global phenomenon, like literally overnight, off of two phrases. So, but yeah, I love wrestling, man. I love talking about wrestling. I don't watch it as much. Like I'll catch it, I always watch the premium live events, and we've gone to see wrestling live a few times over the years, like recently, but uh, haven't been back in a year. So I like try to catch one. It's just hard when they're in the area. Just getting the time and then having good seats is not cheap. Uh, I met Cody Rhodes. We met Cody Rhodes, got his autograph. Really nice guy. Um, the guy that's the GM for Monday Night Raw. What's his name? Daggone, I can't remember his name. He's a cool guy too. Most wrestlers are pretty good people. They do a lot for children. They do a lot for kids. It's a good thing. So anyway, Hulk Hogan, man, rest in peace, brother. And we're gonna keep on keeping on. Man, I hate the last two episodes. It's like we start off with some bad news, but it's things. Death is inevitable. Death and taxes are two things that's guaranteed in life, as they used to always say. Um, but anyway, hope everybody's had a good week so far, and uh, pretty good week. Had a pretty good week. Just chugging along. The year of July. We still got another week left. Good Lord have mercy. How long is this month? We got 1, 2, 3, 5 more days after this. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's been a long week. Changing gears a little bit. What's up? What's up with that? Let's look at some weird and interesting news headlines from this week. In a little segment I like to call "What's Up with That."
What's up with that? What's up with that?
What's up with that? Let's see. What's up with that? Let's see what we can find here. Bee swarms in New York City plagued the summer of 2025. A massive tornado of bees was spotted in Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan. One NYU student described it as her worst nightmare come alive. This event is part of an unsettling trend of intense insect swarming affecting U.S. cities, including mayflies in Ohio and sand fleas in Florida. Florida is it just me or is Florida just a? Somebody told me one time if a story always if it's a weird story, it always starts with a Florida man. A Florida man today, and you know this story ain't gonna make no damn sense. A Florida man today tried to kill his wife with a pizza or some stupid shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, time for an exodus. Extreme heat, the swarms of insects. New York City has been hit with a barrage of biblical plagues this summer. Get the facts behind the tornadoes of bees spotted in Midtown. That's crazy, man. What's my computer doing here? Not doing what it's supposed to do. That's for sure. There we go. That's wild. Sand fleas, though, man. I remember the old house I grew up in. We had a basement, like a dirt basement. Well, half of it was dirt, the other half was like concrete. It was a really old house, but my dad swore we used to get sand fleas in that basement. I don't know if that was true. I don't know how you get sand fleas on the dirt. I guess they don't need sand; they're just fleas. Um, but yeah. What's up with that, man? I'm glad we ain't got none of that stuff around here where I live. Bees are bad enough. Fucking freaking yellow jackets and hornets, man. My computer, I need a mouse. Yellow jackets and hornets. Come on, man. Tighten up here. Damn. Technology, man. It's great when it works. No, I don't want to sign up for free. Technology is great when it works, but it's a pain in the ass when it don't. What's up with that? Let's see. Fort Lauderdale man, Florida man, unleashes dog, stomps iguana in sidewalk opera. In a bizarre public scene, a man attacked an iguana with a stomping dog. Now in charge of multiple felonies, the incident made headlines for its surreal and grotesque staging. What in the hell? What the hell, man? What's up with that? Stomping a damn iguana. They say those things run around Florida, man, like like it's normal. I had a friend of mine. She lived in Florida for a little while. She moved back not long ago. Need to ask her about that. I heard that just iguanas just hang around down there like we see squirrels everywhere else. Um, what's up with that, man? What the hell's wrong with people? Why would you unleash a stomping dog? What in the hell is a stomping dog? Anyway, Fox host Pete Hegseth's 10-year hand wash boycott. A Fox News host claimed he hasn't washed his hands in a decade. Now think about this. My man, now is he using hand sanitizer? That's my question. Because when you go, take a number two, drop the kids off at the pool, take the Browns to the Super Bowl, whatever you want to use, he ain't washing his hands? Like, say he's going to cook some chicken or hamburger, he's got patty up some burgers. Man, think about all the people that's eating at his house. My man's cooking dinner. Reminds me of that Seinfeld episode. He was dating the daughter. The daughter's dad ran the restaurant, Poppy. And he goes in to use the bathroom. Poppy's in there using the bathroom. And that guy said, they kind of was talking. He's like, yeah, I'm Poppy told Seinfeld, "I'm gonna make you and my daughter's meal personally myself." And he walks out the bathroom, didn't wash his hands. So at that point on, Jerry didn't want to eat nothing from the dinner. It was funny as hell. Yeah, I don't know how you go 10 years and never wash your hands. And they always say the easiest way to avoid like getting a cold, like when COVID was blown out, they was like, wash your hands, wash your hands. But I was always taught wash your hands, you get before you eat dinner, you go wash your hands for you. So this guy's gone 10 years, ain't washed his hands. Who in the hell who would do that? And who would admit it? And what's up with that, man? Wash your damn hands, you funky bastard. What else we got? Florida. I'm telling you, man, if it's anything weird, it's usually Florida or California. California gets some weird stuff going on too. Let's see. 4 cows stuck in quicksand in England. Firefighters rescued them from the hardened mud. Has anybody ever seen quicksand? There was a bowling alley not far from where I live, like a couple towns over. And they claimed they had a quicksand pit like next door. They used to have signs up. Pet pig on the loose in California. Escaped emu in Florida. Florida and California, man, I'm telling you. Snake loose on a commuter train. Illinois firefighters safely removed a ball python found slithering inside a train's control panel. Now, who let the damn snake loose? Let's see, what else we got here? A spider that kills via vomiting. A feather-legged lace weaver spider lacks venom but mummifies prey and digests them externally through regurgitation. In case y'all wanted something kind of grotesque. Earth's rotation speeding up. July 10th, 2025 recorded one of the shortest days ever. A whole whopping 1.36 milliseconds shorter than 24 hours. Caused by shifting masses from melt to ice affecting timekeeping systems. 1.36 milliseconds. What's up with that? Like anybody noticed that? What about some aliens and ghosts, paranormal? Here's one. Hold on. My computer's being weird. Blow up doll mistaken for a drowning person. Rescuers in California recovered what they thought was a person from a canal, only to discover a discarded inflatable doll. Lord only knows what was done to that thing. What's up with that, man? Somebody got in an argument with their damn inflatable girlfriend and chucked it right out the damn window. Like yesterday's garbage. I never understood inflatable dolls. That's just weird. I don't know. People got their things, I guess, but that's just weird to me. But anyway, ghost floating in Venezuela. Passerby filmed a legless figure drifting in front of a church. Local speculators paranormal. Let's see what this. Let's click on this one. Oh, we got a couple things going on here. Aliens. Y'all believe in aliens? I guess if you're a believer of God, you read the Bible and all that, you don't believe in aliens. Me personally, the universe is in a very big place, right? I think I would be a little naive to think that we are the only beings in the entire universe. Like there's nothing else anywhere else, right? And then some will say, well, God made the trees, and he made the sky, and he made, animals, he made people, and there's no mention of him making anyone else. So that's it. That's all that exists. That's if that's your belief. Um, Let's see. I don't see it. There's a video. Weirdest story of the week came by way of Arizona. Here's a weird one. An auto shop owner found himself the target of a posse of pranksters who swarmed his business dressed as mechanics. Posse of pranksters, posse of pranksters, posse. Say that 5 times fast. David Highland decried the troublemakers who flooded his garage wielding various tools and pretended to work on the cars there until he called the cops. The strange scene unfolded so quickly that the overwhelmed auto shop owner initially thought the faux mechanics were robbers, since the coverall-clad ne'er-do-wells tinkered with his customers' vehicles. Highland was forced to shut down the business for the day to ensure that nothing was taken and the cars were damaged. Why would you? I mean, pranks are pranks. That seemed like a weird one. Guys dressed as mechanics, acting like they're working on cars. Anyway, that's enough of today's weird headlines. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? Y'all hear about this? I think he's a physicist. He claims that there's a physicist that claims he sees this alien spacecraft headed towards Earth. Get out of here. Say it's gonna be an attack. Hostile alien spacecraft might try to attack Earth in November, according to a controversial new study. I haven't heard that it was. How do they know it's gonna be an attack? Hold on. I ain't read that it was gonna be an attack. What I read something completely different. Hold on. Here we go. Harvard scientist flags mysterious object towards Earth. The object known as, I don't know if that's that 3I Atlas, previous known as A11PL3Z, as per scientists may be an alien technology could potentially launch a surprise attack on our planet. Scientists have warned that a mysterious space object the size of Manhattan is hurtling towards Earth, and the danger it poses isn't what you're thinking. According to a new study, the space object may be an alien spacecraft that can attack our planet possibly in November 2025. Behind the warning, as one of the authors, is Avi Loeb, a prominent Harvard astrophysicist known for his contribution to the research on aliens. His contributions to the research for life out there and his controversial conspiracy theories include one that posed that the 2017 interstellar object might be an artificial probe created by an alien civilization. So what do y'all think, man? Aliens real, not real? People say this is nothing more than a comet coming. That's what I've read from other physicists, other people who studied space and all that. This guy said it was traveling too fast to be a comet, so he claims. Late November, they said it says closest the object would be hidden from Earth's view, which means that it would carry out a secret high-speed maneuver. They say that at its closest, so the object will get closest to the sun in late November. Now, how close is that? I don't know. It'd be hidden from Earth's view. The object was first spotted by Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System Atlas survey telescope at Rio Hurtado potato chili, 10 to 20 kilometers wide. I was just moving toward our planned a speed of over 60 kilometers per second. As per the study, authors of the paper is clearly from a hypothetical point of view. No shit. They don't know what the hell it is. So I feel like people just make up stuff. Like this guy's like, you know what? We don't have enough controversies going on in 2025. We don't have enough. We haven't dealt with enough the last 5 years with COVID and all that. I'm just gonna scare the living hell out of people who are, that get anxiety. And there's people that legit will get anxiety over this. He calls like mass hysteria. I'm just going to say this comet or whatever this is traveling, it's a spaceship and it's coming to Earth and they're going to, take it over, kill everybody. Or maybe they're going to come here and be like, wow, man, this place is sweet. Way better than where we're at. Or they're going to drive by and be like, hey, there's Earth. That's the ghetto. Don't go there. Who knows? I don't know if I believe in aliens. I just think you'd be kind of naive to think there's no other beings or nothing else out there. But if God is your thing, right, and you are Christian or whatever, then yeah, you're not going to believe that. But I don't know what y'all think. Open my podcast 76 at outlook.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know y'all's thoughts on aliens and ghosts for that matter. Because the spirit, I would probably believe in ghosts before I believe in aliens. That because it's like your spirit. And where does it go? What does it do? What happens when we die? I don't know. And I don't think nobody else knows either. They think they know. They can speak hypothetical. Oh, I know. I'm going to heaven. I know. Well, you don't. No, you don't know because you ever met anybody been to heaven? I haven't. I don't know if that's true. I mean, all those things sound great, right? Like you die, you go to heaven. It's, you know, everything's just peaceful and you this, that, and the other. That's all that stuff sounds great. Is that how it works though? I don't know. I don't know. It all sounds good. And people that firmly believe in that, that's cool too. I'm not here to change anybody's mind or anybody's opinion. These are just my opinions and my thoughts. And I will openly have a discussion with anybody like to talk about any of that. I really would. So, but yeah, so November, Thanksgiving. Hey, there you go. We'll invite the aliens over for Thanksgiving. You know, maybe we'll treat them better than we did the Native Americans. Maybe they'll do to us what not me, we as in like us, but maybe the aliens will do to people what people did to the Native Americans for Thanksgiving. But that's another whole another touchy subject people probably don't want to talk about. Um, Remember like the movie Back to the Future when so not the first one but the second. So when Marty went back in time, right? And he goes back to 1955. And he was in 85 was that movie? And then when he went to the future in the second one, they had like flying cars and coats and clothes that would like automatically dry themselves and the cartoon the Jetsons, and you see all these movies we watched in the 80s that showed like post-apocalyptical times, and it was always in like the year 2020 or whatever, 2025. And it's just funny because everybody thought by 2025 we'd have flying cars, right? And we don't have flying cars. We got everybody zooming around on electric scooters and electric bikes, leaving them every damn where. And then we got people selling 1996 Hondas for $8,000. So I feel like we're a long ways off from Back to the Future. 2015. What were the dates of Back to the Future? Anybody remember that? I think it was 2015, 2015. They had all those flying cars. Everybody flew. They didn't drive on roads hardly. And that was 10 years ago, and we still ain't got no flying cars. Hell, we can't even make a ship to go to the bottom of the ocean. People want to talk about space, man. That's what we ought to talk about. Like, I feel like we waste a lot of money traveling to space. I don't know what we're looking for, what we're trying to find out there. What's the purpose of it? But the ocean now, that's a scary place to me. And I always see these pictures, these videos online, man, of these like creatures, these fish or whatever that live in the ocean, like deep where it's black, like no sunlight or nothing. Basically, where we can't travel because the pressure's too much. Like those guys, that damn guy that tried to take that submarine down to the Titanic and that thing imploded, killed all them people. That guy was an idiot. I don't know if anybody's seen those documentaries, but that guy was an idiot. And I feel so bad for the people that went in down in that damn ship. That one guy and his son, like his son didn't even want to go. He didn't want to do it. But yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, 2025, man, flying cars and all that. Man, everybody's riding around on electric scooters and bikes and selling 1996 Hondas for $8,000. Man, people are crazy, man. I saw a post earlier on Facebook. Guy was selling a Nissan 300ZX. Wasn't even twin turbo. It was convertible, which is weird. I don't know if I've ever seen a soft top convertible 300Z. He had it up for $91,500. So I commented, it was like, is it 91,500 or 9,150? And even $9,150 still way too damn much for that thing. They talk about it's rare. Everything's rare. Everything's rare these days. Well, your 96 Honda Civic is not rare, so and I hate to tell you that. And unless it's like an SI or an SIR that come from overseas or a Type R, it's not worth. To me, it's not. To somebody else, it's everything only has value depending on who's looking for it. And there's always a buyer. There's always a niche group of people that are looking for certain things. But yeah, no flying cars. We got aliens coming in November. I'm just waiting for the next pandemic to come along. Who knows when that's going to be? The next pandemic. I left my truck sitting outside today. I had the windows down. It stays in the garage. I was airing it out. We had a little rainstorm come up. I was like, damn it. My buddy called and said, man, either your windows are really clear or they're down. They're down. I mean, they are clear. It is glass, but they're down. Luckily to see, it didn't rain much, and it was kind of under the tree, so the door panels got a little wet, seats got a little wet, but they're not like soaked or anything. That's not gonna mildew or nothing. I went and got a There's a place here in town makes pizzas and calzones and all that. And usually I get a buffalo chicken quesadilla from there. That's like my thing, man. If I go to like Jersey Mike's, I get the buffalo chicken sub. If I go, most places it's. But tonight I said I'm gonna get a calzone. I'm gonna give me a buffalo chicken calzone, and man, that thing is. I haven't eaten a calzone. I couldn't tell you. That thing was gigantic. I ate half of it. I could not eat that whole thing. And then I had a slice of blueberry cheesecake. Cheesecake with the blueberry, compote, whatever they call it on it. It was pretty good. And some onion rings. I'll save the rest of that calzone for tomorrow. That'd be like lunch or maybe breakfast. I'm gonna hit the gym. Man, I hit the gym on Friday. I did legs. I'd been slacking, man. Trust me. People need to call me out, but I've been slacking. And I definitely have been doing legs. So I hit legs on Friday. My legs are pretty stiff today. They're not terrible. Usually legs is the one body part. No matter when I do them, how often I do them, they always gets kind of sore. So tomorrow's probably gonna be worse. Like that delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS as they call it. It's usually the second day after you work out is when it's worse. But I'm gonna hit the gym tomorrow and get a workout in. Trying to stay on track, man. Get back on track, and football is going on right now, man. Everybody's in camp. I think there's a game at the end of this month, the Hall of Fame game. So football is officially back, man. Another month. Games start in September. I can't wait. I'm a Commanders fan. I was a Redskin fan growing up. They got some stuff going on right now because their best wide receivers still under contract for a year, but he wants a new contract, so he's holding out and he hasn't come to camp. And I never thought. I mean, he was a very stand-up guy. You know what I'm saying? He's been a great guy to the community. He's a good locker room guy. I get it. He wants another contract. A lot of these athletes, they do that. They hold out. But you're under contract right now. Like, honor the contract you're under. Like, I don't understand that. Like, you're going to get a new contract, whether it's Washington or another team, they're going to sign you. But to me, if you're going to hold out, I just don't think that's a good look. I think it makes it look more like it's more about you. And the guys are complaining, right? Oh, I'm not making it. You're making $25 million this year. Like you want 30 plus a year. I have no sympathy for that shit. And honestly, this guy, he's Terry McLaurin. He's a great player. I don't think he's a top 10 wide receiver in the league. I just don't. He's been good for Washington. He's had crappy quarterbacks his whole career. Now we got Jaden Daniels. So he finally has a legit quarterback. He had a great year last year. Just show up, man. The contract will get worked out. Like you're a captain, you're a leader of the team, and this is what you're doing. And then every day he holds out, he gets fined. Most guys, when they want to hold out, they still show up. They call it a hold in instead of a hold out, where they show up but they don't participate. But they're there. He's not even doing that, and he's in town because there's been video. People have like seen him. So I don't know. I don't know, man. This year we had a great year last year, like way better than anything I'd ever expected, and it felt magical. It brought back feelings from the glory days of the Super Bowl runs and all this stuff. And now we got this going on. It's like, God, man, can we just? We got rid of the old owner, Snyder, and who I felt was just a black guy. Like that guy's just not a good person. But they sold the team finally. Got new owner, new leadership, new this, new that, and everything. I was like, man, we're looking up. And then this crap happens, and it's like, are they just doomed from the jump? I don't know. I don't know. And then the people are always talking about the name. Bring the Redskin name back. The Native Americans are upset. They liked it that they called him that. They like the image of the Native American that they used, who was a real person whose face was that image on the helmet. That name's not coming back. They did introduce a season that they're gonna wear like the throwback like Super Bowl style colorway uniforms, which I feel like they should have never went away from anyway. But the Commander's name is terrible. I can't stand that name. They could have used Washington Warriors. They could have came up with a lot of things. But in sports, they're trying to get away from using like people as a mascot, right? So like even the Cleveland Indians, they changed them to the Guardians. But you still have like Kansas City Chiefs, Atlanta Braves, but those aren't specific like people. So I don't know. There's always controversy around everything. But let's open my mailbag. How about that? Everybody's favorite segment. Open my mailbag. What we got in old mailbag this week? What? Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Hold on. What? Why do I gotta sign back in? Oh, just tell me I gotta sign in. Hold on. It was weird. It's like it was signed in, but it wasn't signed in. Anyway, open mic mailbag. Didn't mean to do that.
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Email openmicpodcast76@outlook.com. Email the show for a chance to read your email online. If you do want to send in an email and talk about whatever and you don't want it read, just let me know and we won't read it. Open mic mailbag. Let's go. Let's see what we got here. Cloud seeding or just Virginia? From weatherguy99@gmail.com. Yo, Mike, long-time listener. Love the weather segment. I'm convinced they're messing with the sky. I was outside grilling and it started raining while the sun was out. Either it's cloud seeding or Mother Nature's got jokes. Keep digging. Weatherguy99@gmail.com. Appreciate you listening to the show. Appreciate your email. Yeah, I've read up on cloud seeding. I don't know. It's I don't know what to think about it, honestly. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know, man. That whole. I don't think we should be messing with Mother Nature. That's just my opinion. I think we should just leave things alone. But there's a reason for cloud seeding. I just think that they aren't using it. If they're testing or whatever, I don't know. But it rains all the time, like in Florida and like places of Hawaii. Like when you're around the ocean, the sun could be out and it could be raining. So I don't know where you live. You mentioned Virginia, so that can happen in Virginia, I guess. But I appreciate you listening to the show. Appreciate your email. Let's see. Stage social media equals new pandemic. Realer than you at yahoo.com. Mike, thank you for calling out the fake social media stunts. I saw someone pretend to get kicked out of Target over a fake protest. They had a full camera crew for what, like 12 likes? We need help. Realer than you at yahoo.com. Jimmy, thank you for emailing the show. Yeah, I'd post that on my Instagram. I see a lot of Instagram social media influencers. I don't want to call them influencers. I don't know what you call them. But just for engagement, they stage. And this girl was on a bike and she had staged like some guy coming up asked for a number. And she was like, no, I don't give my number, blah, blah, blah. He throws water on her face. She kind of laughs and then she gets off the bike acting like she's upset. That shit was staged bigger than hell. And I see her. It's usually a girl. I usually see the girls doing it. I'm sure the guys do it too. But I feel like a lot of people they stage it because they want engagement. Whether you're on there calling them out or you're on there like saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe somebody." It's engagement. It doesn't matter. That's all they want. But anyway, realer than you, Jimmy. Appreciate you listening to the show. Appreciate the email. Let's see. Let's read a couple more. Here you go. Is podcasting your side hustle or a cry for help? Savage with the cause at hotmail.com. No offense, Mike, but the podcast sounds like your therapy session sometimes. Anybody trying to hear all that soft talk every week? Talk about real stuff or just bring back the guests who made fart jokes. He was funny. Trigo. I don't know where my boy Trigo is either, man. I don't even think he's having a hard time. I need to reach out and find out about him. He was funny. Richard, appreciate you listening to the show. Appreciate you sending an email. Yeah, my podcast is my therapy. It's my podcast. You don't like what the content is, you don't have to listen to it. That's end of discussion, man. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you emailing, but I mean, if you're gonna listen just to complain, I mean, hey, man, more power to you. If you want to listen and then complain about what you're listening to, that's fine. I'm not gonna complain. I take all the engagement. Um, but if you want me to talk about something else, what do you want me to talk about? Send me an email. Give me some suggestions. But anyway, I appreciate you listening to the show. Appreciate the email. Let's do one more. One more. Here we go. Let's end it on a good note. Your podcast got me through a 12-hour shift. Forklift Dave at protonmail.com. Found your podcast randomly on YouTube. Ended up listening to 6 episodes straight during a warehouse shift. You got a chill vibe, man. Mix of funny and real talk. Keep it up. And tell Norman to stop interrupting so much. Damn, he went way back with that one. Norman, Trigo, my boy. I got to reach out to Trigo. Dave, appreciate your email and appreciate you listening to the show, man. I'm glad I was able to get you through a shift. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. I think it's a pretty chill vibe here. It's a mix of funny and real talk, and that's me. That's me. We're gonna do serious. We're gonna do some funny. We're gonna do a little bit of everything, man. It's open mic. Open mic. That's what it's about, you know. And I appreciate all the emails. I appreciate all the listeners, everybody who communicates and gives me feedback. I appreciate all that. Positive or negative, constructive criticism. That's how I see it. Man, we everybody's got to start somewhere, and nobody starts at the top. Whether it's work, whether it's sports, anything you do. Like me wrapping my truck, never done it before, and having done it, at first I was like, man, I'll never want to do it again. But that's not true. Having done it the first time, I could do it again, and I'd be better than I was the first time. And so, um, that's life. You always get more than one chance, and you always have opportunities to do better than you did yesterday. And that's all I ask people to strive for, man. Look, when yesterday's gone and we wake up the next day, it's a new day, and it's a chance to do better and be better. Um, that's it. You know, just I always strive to be better than I was yesterday, and I probably don't always do a good job of that. I might stay even kill a lot of times, and but it's you know, we got to strive to be better, and it's hard sometimes, and but with anything in life, hobbies, anything we do, we start out as a not as a you know, you come in, you don't have no experience, right? When I start podcasts, I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying. I'm not trying, I'm doing. Leota said, "Do or do not, there is no try." The great words of wisdom from Yoda. Do or do not, there is no try. You either do it or you don't. There is no trying. You do it or you don't do it. Plain and simple. And hopefully, man, like I can touch someone's life. If I change or help one person, and if I podcast for 2 years and only help one person, then it's all worth it. All the time, everything's been worth it. And I podcast for myself because I enjoy doing this, and people enjoy listening to me. As long as that's the case, and I'm going to keep on doing it, and we're going to keep on going, man. And you guys are on this journey with me, and I appreciate everybody that takes the time out of their day to listen and watch and email and comment and take time out of their day to tell me, hey, I listened to your podcast. I like this. I didn't like this. I can relate to this. I don't relate to that. Hey, why don't you try this? That tells me you guys care, man, and that means a lot to me. And I'm just a small dot in this life, this world, and we all probably feel that way. We're just a speck, right? We're nothing in the grand scheme of life in the world. We're just a tiny spot. But us feeling that way, we may be bigger than we know in someone else's world or in someone else's life, and you never know whose life we touch or who we inspire. We may feel like we're this big to in our lives, but we may be this big. We may be someone's whole world in their life, and I think it's important to remember that. And I think as little as we think we mean to the world, we are the world to someone. And just remember, man, tough times don't last, tough people do. I appreciate everybody. Catch you on the next one. Peace.